Hello everyone and welcome to the LA challenge of the Intel Extreme Masters Season 2. And in this one, in case you didn't watch the recap video previously, in this one we are going to determine the last two participants of the grand finals of the entire season. And we're jumping right into the first round of the winner bracket, as you know, this is the meat of this LA challenge, and there are hardly any replays available from the group stage. And we're gonna start with a human mirror here between miou, the German human player, down at the bottom spawn position of Secret Valley, and Nilknarf, the yellow human player, at the top of Secret Valley. And just so you guys know, this is a double elimination grid, so even the player that loses here is not going to be out of the tournament immediately, but he's gonna have to fight himself through the lower bracket. Altars finishing, IEM for both the players, and I guess we're in for a pretty interesting human mirror here. Nilknarf at this point easily one of the top 3 players of America, perhaps even of the American continent, but that's, I guess, a discussion to be had, since especially in Brazil there were a couple of very strong Night Elf players like, you know, Pedo, Mist, etc. Anyways, Nilknarf certainly a player to be recognized, and miou, of course, at this time already the former 6-time German EPS champion, definitely known to be very good in human mirror, taking down Spell 4 times in the EPS Grand Finals in human mirror, winning a total of 6 times. I'm just thinking his first EPS victory was against Kukian, so there was a human against Orc, and his second one was against Ravage. So he had a total of 6 EPS victories in Germany, with a total of 5 of those victories being human mirrors. So certainly a player known to known to be somewhat capable, at least in human mirror. And speaking of somewhat capable, Nilknarf immediately got his first water mantle ensnared here by the creeps, and therefore took a bit of damage onto his unit, somewhat unnecessarily. But he's going for a very unconventional creep route here, creeping the goblin merchant immediately, and he's being rewarded for that with a big heal potion, whereas miou is taking this very slowly in the beginning, creeping this green camp, and now it looks like he's gonna go for the fast expansion afterwards. miou, of course, also known to be a player to go for expansions very, very often. Nilknarf, on the other hand, I guess after this huge investment early on, is somewhat unlikely to follow this up with another huge militia creep, which would be his expansion. So for the time being, he's gonna get aggressive. He does have 3 of his 4 units here, well, 2 units and 1 hero, that aren't looking all too healthy to begin with. Scout Peasant gets taken down. miou is going to be like, what the heck? He does have the big heal potion already. So miou by this point knows about what has happened thus far, and he's sending his peasants back immediately. His tech has started quite a while ago already though, so this appears to be, it appears like that used to be the plan to begin with for miou. Both of the players taking almost simultaneously, miou slightly ahead, falling back to the fountain for a moment. Another footman sees the yellow army approaching miou's main base. This footman should not be in any serious trouble here, but given that there is no scout tower yet, perhaps there could be some harassment. But it looks like Nilknarf decides to rather go for an engagement straight up. And does he get the surround? Yes, nicely done by the American player, and therefore he is going to be able to draw first blood here. The footman of his is going to get away, perhaps towards the right hand side right now, to the heal fountain. The next of his footmen is in more trouble though, and miou is getting the block in with one of his footmen, securing himself the first kill as well. On top of things, he just killed a water mantle, but he might be losing another footman in return. Yeah, doesn't continue running away here, and therefore the next of miou's footmen is falling, making it a total of 2-to-1 kills. Deny is coming in too late by Nilknarf's IEM there, so some more XP for miou. XP wise, the players are pretty much on par. miou, by the way, with a Period of Vitality and a Cloak of Shadows, which could come in very handy in those early skirmishes, as a surround on miou's IEM would potentially be worthless with their Cloak of Shadows. Once again, Footman's taking some damage. First one of Nilknarf is being sent away. The one of miou. Is he gonna get the block in for long enough? No, he isn't. Footman is squeezing past, and now Nilknarf's IEM is the one taking a bit of damage, but he does have the potion, but he's not really going to be eager to use that all too early on. At both the fountains, some footmen are hanging out. Nilknarf's footman already has healed up. Up here, miou's low HP footman might be chased down, and I think both of the players are going to close in on tier 2. Nilknarf already positioning 4 peasants here in front of his base, which I'm assuming is going to mean that he's going to build 2 arcane sanctums with power build immediately. miou ends up losing another footman here, so Nilknarf seems to be getting the better of this trades early on. Now going for this round on the IEM, who does have the cloak and who's able to kill his way out of that surround already with the first footman kill. Once again, this game seems to stay very, very close, but miou getting the 3 here way more quickly than Nilknarf, and he's getting Nilknarf is getting the kill on this Gnoll, but it's not enough for the level 3 yet, and therefore, thanks to the superior water elemental, miou has to fall back here for the time being. So miou is going straight for tier 3, 1 arcane sanctum, 1 blacksmith, whereas Nilknarf is going for the double arcane sanctum, as was to be expected here after seeing those 4 peasants. Mountain King is out. Is he stuck? No, the base is wide open. Okay. Was just looking there on the minimap for a second. And yeah, Nilknarf falling back for the moment. Naga second for miou, so it looks like, you know, the hero is going to provide him with a lot of momentum here initially on tier 2 with the cold arrow, so it looks like that's going to be his means of securing his tech to tier 3 without being punished all too much. We'll see if that's going to backfire at him eventually later on. Well, the first 2 priests are out for Nilknarf, who is not adding the adept upgrade yet. Bit surprising. miou pulling a bunch of militia. Tier 3 is soon to be done. Blacksmith is soon to be done. Lumber mill is soon to be done. So it looks like he's going to go into knights, priests, and mortar teams. The classic counter to the tier 2 human breaker priest army. But for the time being, we're gonna see the players colliding with only what they got currently on tier 2. Protection score used by miou. Bolt is securing another kill here onto the second footman here in total of miou in this little skirmish. miou did get away with the creep camp though, did pick up the big inroll potion, and now he's falling back. Yeah, there's the workshop for the mortar teams eventually. Let's see if the paladin is going to be added right now. Still tier 2 for Nilknarf, who is now adding the adept upgrade. Who's added his first breaker, and miou. This is insanely greedy, going for tier 3 and for the expansion. This is strategically quite questionable, and clearly, as that has been scouted, that is not going to be allowed by Nilknarf. And I feel like miou should just be sitting back here for the moment, as his army is going to become superior quite quickly here, as the first knights will be spawning, as I'm assuming the paladin will be built eventually, but he decides to go for the fight here, nevertheless losing the Naga here eventually. No, TP is being passed, killing 1 priest here I believe, but forced to use the town portal in return, certainly not worth it. And well, paladin still not being added. Fragmentation shards is being upgraded at first here, and I think this should be the time when miou should really just try to sit back and survive instead of challenging the opposing army. I mean, I said it previously, this Naga is providing quite a bit of momentum early on, but you know, that doesn't compensate for the decent number of priests already, for the first breakers already. And as long as miou, you know, he doesn't invest into a huge army early on. So while the Naga's Searing Arrow is powerful, she's also not the most tanky hero. And with those small armies, that, you know, miou's army especially will remain small until his tier 3 stuff comes into play. This Naga is always also a pretty prominent target for some bolt and surround, and yeah, we've seen that previously, and perhaps we might see that again right now, as miou is not willing to give this red camp to his opponent, but I think maybe he should be. Then again, if he stalls him for a little bit until the first knights join the army, until the first mortar team with fragmentation shards comes into play, maybe it is the right call. We'll find out about it eventually. 3-4 militia joining the fight. The first one has to be put back already. Water battles are being split there by miou. The Paladin has now joined on the side of the German. Level 2 on the Naga. Staff of Sanctuary also available. Used the first time here. I misclicked by the Naga, apparently, using the Invo potion here without any reason. I'm assuming he wanted to use the Staff of Sanctuary on something, but now having used the Invo potion already certainly isn't going to help him in this fight. The next militia being pulled back here in time. First mortar team joining, but attacked by a water metal. And next priest of miou is in some trouble as well. Level 2 finally on the Mountain King of Nilknarf. And it looks like miou does not yet have the power to really take this fight, so it seems like, yeah, he definitely has committed here too early, and it's basically only the 3 heroes left standing currently. Another footman, the last of Nilknarf's footmen, is falling here as he's pulling back his breakers, as he's losing another priest, but the Paladin has to fall back already as well. First knight is just now in production. I'm wondering if he got the animal war training first, because that is really late given how long his tier 3 has finished already. And another footman has been staffed here. Of course, this the utility of this Staff of Sanctuary with 3 heroes to use it is quite insane. And yeah, the animal war training has already been finished. But it looks like Nilknarf is letting go of this red camp for the time being. He's also tech to tier 3 in the meantime though. Adding the Paladin. Adding the workshop, so now we basically have a straight up tier 3, or we're gonna have a straight up tier 3 priests, knights and mortars against priests, knights and mortars, and that's basically going to come down to who is going to be able to manage their armies better in the fight. I doubt that miou is gonna go for an expansion again all too soon. First knight is out for Nilknarf as well, who's found the energy pendant. Perfect item here for the Mountain King, who is getting very close to level 3 already. miou in the meantime, well, maybe I'll be proven wrong and he's gonna go for the expansion here at the red camp immediately again. Perhaps trying to get that in as long as he still has a bit of a tech advantage, but to be honest, I don't think that's even the case right now. All he has is 2 mortar teams currently against none, I think. The first mortar team is even out already for Nilknarf, so yeah. There really seems to be no advantage at all for miou at this point. Pretty even game. 3-2 heroes, fruit of Pipe of Insight found on the side of miou. And for Nilknarf, it is 3 and almost 3 Mountain King, who is here hiding behind the Ogre Magi. It's going to be 3-3 and a level 1 Paladin here. Crystal Ball for Nilknarf, so both of the players with rather useless items. Let's see if this one is going to be scanned here in just a second for Nilknarf. I would imagine that actually. But it looks like he may have scanned elsewhere. Now, okay, there it is. He scouts the expansion right now, as was to be expected given that he found the crystal ball. So perhaps even somewhat useful in this case. But I guess the scout peasant was on his way anyways. miou is doing some more shopping here on his IEM, selling the pipe, getting nothing else at the moment. 56 supply for Nilknarf, 50 for miou, and yeah, the attack on the expansion is happening here immediately with the level 3 Mountain King. Certainly great that he got that before the fight, and now it looks like that fight is going to be ensuing. Or is Nilknarf just gonna go for the tower? But I think he's going to be too late. He's gonna have to win a fight here. Paladin is taking a lot of damage immediately, so is the Mountain King of Nilknarf. The level 1 Holy Light, not all too powerful just yet. 1 knight on the field on either side, and the Mountain King is actually, yeah, the first one to really be in trouble here. The Naga's Cold Arrow really coming into play, but miou's mortar teams are completely exposed and he's not pulling them back, and he's gonna lose all of them if he doesn't react immediately here. Bolt is killing the second to last one, and the last one is going to be taken down as well. Actually, Staff of Sanctuary is being used here twice by miou quite quickly. There is a staff on the side of Nilknarf as well. The next Holy Light going on to the Mountain King. But if miou doesn't get this Mountain King killed, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to do so at the moment, this seems to be a huge commitment that miou has committed here. Heal potion passed onto that Mountain King, and all of a sudden this one is looking pretty healthy, and miou has lost the majority of his army here, trying to just get that hero out of the fight. And all of a sudden, Nilknarf has a supply advantage of 8, but I think a ton of miou supply must still be in the production facilities. And on top of things, 2 of his units are currently stuck at the castle, being healed up by the Staff of Sanctuary. A knight being staffed on the side of Nilknarf, who is pulling forward onto the Naga. Both the Naga and the Paladin are in some trouble here. IEM and the knight currently have to defend pretty much all by themselves. And one mortar team here is getting kind of overly aggressive. Let's see if that one is going to be staffed out in time as well. Yes, Nilknarf very much on point with his micro here. miou trying to dodge the bolt with his Paladin, but it looks like Nilknarf certainly aware of that possibility, and therefore he decides to bolt the Naga, which forces the Staff of Sanctuary. So miou currently in this fight forced to fight with only 2 of his 3 heroes, and Nilknarf is gaining more and more of an edge here. At the same time, this expansion is running, but yeah, not for all too long as it appears here. Bunch of peasants and the one knight are taking care of that expansion currently. And miou, yeah, is evacuating his peasants here, using the town portal with his IEM, only being able to save 2 of those though. And the expansion is going to be taken down, I'm assuming, unless immediately another town portal is going to come in. But it doesn't look like miou does have the means currently to defend this expansion. So I was saying it previously, I would be very surprised if miou went for the expansion a second time here, and he ended up going for it, and definitely backfired at him. miou was in no position to be able to afford that expansion, and now Nilknarf is up by 15 supply. He does have the slightly superior heroes, he has the bigger army, he has everything, basically every advantage on his side, and miou just used another invo potion on the Naga here. He's really into using these invo potions accidentally, apparently. And now the big push of Nilknarf is happening. MK soon to be 4, Paladin soon to be 3, which would be amazing. Makes an amazing difference, level 3 Paladin compared to level 2. Both the Paladins are very close to that level up. And it looks like a bunch of dispels against these watermen might secure level 3 for the Paladin of Nilknarf. The first mortar team of miou is in trouble, is falling. The first knight of miou is in trouble, is falling as well. miou not staffing stuff here in time. Fog Lightning against the mortar teams, but Holy Light immediately heals up the very low HP one. Divine Shield used by the Paladin of miou. In the meantime, both the Paladins have reached level 3. Yeah, look at the Holy Light affecting the MK here very greatly. Clap is coming in, slowing down stuff, and miou is gonna have to fall back here. Another barracks is coming at the left hand side of the base, but that might be too late here. The Naga is in some trouble. Staff is on her heal potion board. He needs to pass the staff to be able to save that Naga. Actually, there's another Holy Light available on the Paladin as well, but that's gonna put this IEM in some trouble. Staff used by the Naga onto another knight. One more knight is falling, and this is the last knight standing and fighting currently for miou, and that one is falling as well. And Nilknarf just has such a huge force here to deal with miou's very, very, very tiny army. Clarity potion running on miou's Paladin. The next mortar team is being assaulted, is being pulled back in time though after a Holy Light. But what is miou really supposed to do to hold this push? He's trying to work from a range here with the mortar team, with the IEM and the Naga, and well, that only is working to a very, very tiny degree. Holy Light on one low HP knight, the other low HP knight is being staffed. The inner fire also helps quite greatly. The priests are not positioned all too well, but given that there's only one mortar team, they can pretty much counteract the damage here just by their healing. And now this mortar team is going to be taken out of the fight, and there's the GG by miou. miou with some very surprising decision making here, which I think cost him the game. Going for the tier 3 against the human player who's going tier 2 double Arcane Sanctum is always a bit of a risk already. But he was able to pull it off somewhat smoothly, I'd say. Paying a bit of a price, but he got up to tier 3. And in the meantime, for some reason, he tried to go for the expansion for the first time already on the left-hand side, which made no sense in my opinion. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I didn't get that at all. And as I said, he paid a bit of a price for it. Nilknarf quite safely went up to tier 3 as well. And caught up tech-wise, got his workshop as well, got his Paladin as well. And then miou went for an expansion again when there was nothing to really justify that decision, and Nilknarf scouted it quickly. He went for the push immediately, and he was able to break miou in the straight up fight and therefore win the game. So Nilknarf up 1-0 is one step away from winning, from moving into the second round of the winner bracket. And the second map here is going to be Lost Temple.